What's up, y'all? So I just was chilling and kind of vibing with myself, whatever. And I came to this realization that a lot of times, right, we a lot of times we probably I kind of know why I do know why I'm making this video, because I'm trying to make it a video, but this may not be something that needs to be a video. So I would take it into account. But what I was trying to say was, or at least what I was saying before, was the fact that like people don't see where they're going wrong, or like people don't really see how they be doing things wrong, right? Because they're looking from just their perspective. But I think for me, it's like I'm always an observer, so I'm always observing like how people do things, treat people, treat themselves, like him, So it's like I'm always picking up and seeing these things that people are doing or people are saying. And I feel like it's weird because a lot of times, like I just know within me, like I wouldn't, it's not how I would do it, but at the same time, but I still get a chance to observe. So it's like on the back end, when I am finally being able to like tell a person like, well, I saw you do this and I saw you say it like that, so I know that means like, I feel like I could be able to, I don't know, it's weird. The point that I was getting at with before wasn't about trying to like, help the person change that, but it was just more about like being in this observant space to truly be able to like observe it and then be like, oh damn, that's how they really moving. They really on, But not necessarily that's how they really moving, but more so just like, but that's how they are, that's how they act, that's how they do, that's how they move, And you get to a point where you just kind of accept like, you get to a point where you just kind of accept like that's how people gonna be. Like it ain't really much you can do to like change that, and it's not your job to change it, And I feel like I don't know why the brightness going up. Exposure, exposed. So this may be something. So yeah, the light is definitely shining now on whatever it needs. Okay, there we go. The camera is like focusing on my third eye now. So yeah, definitely confirmation about what we're seeing. So just pay attention. I feel like this may be a time for y'all to slow down and really, especially if it's people like y'all F with. I definitely think that you guys need to be a little more observant of how people act, treat you, say, do, all of the above, because I feel like a lot of us can get real, like, sometimes we get too understanding, like, like excusing the behavior, but it's certain behaviors that are not excusable. They've only been excused because the people that they've been around that have enabled them to continue to do that. And when you continue to enable a person to keep up a certain behavior, especially toxic behavior, they never come out of that cycle of realizing how they're moving is wrong. And people need to get to a point of understanding about where they go wrong. A lot of people don't know where they go wrong. Like honestly, I could say from my perspective, like I did have one friend in the past, and like we don't talk anymore or anything like that. Nothing personal, but it's just kind of more of like a general standard on my end. But one thing within that situation I realized was I was observing a lot of their toxic behavior, or like I was observing a lot of things that they would be doing wrong, and I would feel away, but they would never see that they were doing anything wrong because they were always enabled, and the way that they acted or treated or did things, they never looked at it as it was a problem. It just was them, It was just who they were. And, I feel like over time, I was looking at it more as just like, but that's toxic. That's not what I need. That's not how, And I had to get to a point where, for myself, I had to be observant of that and make a choice, right? But what I was saying, but the point I was trying to get to was making that statement was the fact that I was observing things that I didn't really speak up on, though, right? So by me not speaking up and not saying anything particularly, it allowed them to continue to keep doing what they were doing, because I didn't kind of like address it, or I didn't really say, hey, you're doing this, don't fuck with that, or you're doing this, and it's not that, And I think it's just, it's about getting to a place of being able to kind of open up and be honest about those things that you see, those problems that you see, your friend or partner having, you know, and not just kind of being on the side of like not wanting to, I guess one, yeah, not want to make an issue, but then two, the other part is kind of just like not wanting to kind of have to deal with the whole process of the truth, you know, because people love to deny, people love to be in denial, and people love to act dumb and clueless about the truth of what's going on. And but a lot of times that can be your downfall, because it's like you're acting blind to something that you know, which means that the karma is going to hit hard. And I'm not saying that to like, you know, but it's just like, it's, you know, the karma is going to hit hard because of that choice that you made to try to act as if, right? It's kind of like when people try to act like, I ain't even give no I'm not even gonna give a I'm not even gonna give a specific I'm not even gonna give a specific answer to that, because it varies. It could be anything, like, but it's about you personally with how you deal and see with each person. Like I said, for me, I'm a very honest person when it comes to the people I hang with. So a lot of time people want you to feed their ego, but I'm not a feed your ego type of person. That's just not me. And even if I do try to do it, even if I do try to feed your ego, at the end of the day, I'll still have that, remember that in my brain, that like, knowing what I should have told you, but I told you this instead. And so then like, that's going to continue to enable your behavior to do more toxic shit. So you see what I'm saying? So it's kind of just like, it is certain things that we do got to call out. It is certain things that we do got to kind of speak up on and just say it. Let the fears go that they won't understand. Because if they're really your friend, you know, even if they do get defensive in the moment, if they are your friend, they're definitely going to like look at you like, oh, dang, like, yeah, you was right. I did kind of like, you know, accountability. But like I said, a lot of people don't want to be accountable, because being accountable means that you're quote unquote in trouble. Being accountable, quote unquote, lucky, means that you are the one with the finger being pointed at it, right? So it's like, some people don't like to be in that position. So they will avoid taking accountability. They would avoid being the one that is in the wrong, because it feels so much better to like deflect it and, you know, I'm not the problem. But how long is that I'm not the problem gonna turn into I am the problem, when you don't have the people to put the blame on anymore, you know? The only blame that you can blame is yourself. The only person that you can blame for where you're at is yourself. But and it's crazy, because like I normally don't do like target audience, like when I'm doing these readings, but this really is a targeted for more specifically a group of people that may still be dealing with more of the toxic behavior or toxic energies, or maybe struggling with trying to like overcome being in the ego so much, meaning like you're heavily there, fuck is a soul, you know, because you got to think we're living in that reality as well. And, you know, we're all human. I mean, yeah, I'm deeply in tune with my soul, but I'm also a being. I'm also a human here. So I also do have an ego as well. But that being said, allows me to be able to understand how the ego works, which allows me to be able to understand people as well within how they work, how they move, how they do. Like, it's easy. Well, for me, but not to brag, but it's easy for me because it's like, I know that, you know, that's just something that it was how it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be like, and I'm a Gemini too. So like my mind, if I'm already moving on 10, the mind moving on 1 million on top of doing the, bro, I have a Scorpio, bro. My Scorpio is literally a midheaven. My shit's gonna put 3 and 6 together, and we're definitely gonna get 99. We're gonna get 9. We're gonna get 9 solutions, right? But we're gonna have 90 ideas of what could have been. So you see what I'm saying here, though? It's the fact that like you go beyond the just settling for the simple answers. You go into the full investigation, that full, like you go into that full rabbit hole moment of going through everything, kind of seeing everything and viewing it, and you know, and a lot of times it's crazy. Like like now that I'm even thinking about it, because like yesterday, I remember I had like a I don't even know what to kind of call it, but I kind of had like a moment like that where I kind of was like, well, that could happen, this could happen, that could happen, right? And then later that day, like the thing that I thought about in the middle, that I was like, oh, that probably happened, and I was like, nah, like you know, just kind of it happened. But what I'm saying was the fact that I actually like before I saw that, I kind of was like had that feeling that I might. So then when I saw it, or like when it kind of played out that way, I was kind of like, okay. So I'm gonna figure it out before I even figure it out. It happening is the me figuring out what I already suspected. That really wasn't the point of this video, y'all. Like, I really just wanted to come here and kind of like rant, honestly. I haven't did this in a minute, so I was like, let me make a little video, you know, just talking my talk, do what I do, you know? And, yeah, I definitely feel like this is definitely going to be a time where people are going to be tested within themselves of like how they handle their truth, how they handle putting their truth out there. And that doesn't, because what I was gonna say before was putting your truth out there, but remember I said this video is lucky a targeted video for a particular audience of people that's wanting ego. So the thing with that is like it's gonna be a part in there where you're gonna have to like overcome a little bit of not wanting to face a lot of these things. And that's why it's going to be as bad as it's going to be when you have that much resistance with, all right, maybe you do got a soul. That's why it's that resistance when you had that internal feeling of like, nah, maybe I should just go this way and do this right. But the ego is like, nah, but we got it. Nah, we can stay over here. We can do that. Like, nah. But that was a pre-warning though, right? From your soul or your intuition trying to tell you like, maybe time to go, you know, because extend the stay, duty to do, let's go, you know? And I think because our ego wants to be so much in control, we're like, no, yeah, I hear all that, but back over here real quick, let's figure it, like, and it's like, but that back over here with that temporary excitement doesn't last long. It's in the moment. That's why in the moment it feels right making that choice. When you make a soul choice or an intuition choice, a lot of times it's not, it's something that you just kind of feel you have to do, feel you have to say, feel you have to understand, versus with ego, right? You're going to psych yourself out of even having to understand. You're going to psych yourself out of even having to try to see it that deep. You're like, nah, you're going to choose logic over actually having to trust yourself. You're literally going to have to choose, y'all literally choose logic over trusting yourself. So then when shit hits the fan, it's like, oh, and now we're all playing blame game. But it's like, but the only person you really blame is yourself, because you allowed that. You put yourself in that position to be there. Who's to blame? Who's to blame? Because at some point, when do you take control of your life and change how you moving with it, right? If you don't even know, that's cool. But eventually, you know, you gotta have some plan for yourself to be better than what you was before. But like I said before, though, y'all are gonna go through certain experiences that are gonna, like, you know, put y'all into positions to where y'all gotta change, or, you know, it's gonna be certain situations that hit the fan that's kind of like, I've been through this too many times, like, nah, this shit ain't fun no more, this shit ain't even cool no more. Like, it'll get to a point where the very thing that you had that temporary excitement for won't even satisfy you anymore. It won't even really do anything for you anymore, to the point where you'll literally be trying to put yourself in that situation and you get so much resistance. because it's not for you anymore. Like, you ain't in that space no more. Like, yeah, you trying to continue to be right, but like I said, your soul got other plans. You didn't come here this lifetime to just be, I mean, you're experiencing this experience, but you did not come here to this experience just to experience this world and be stuck in it. That's the point. We gotta get through that though, y'all. We're not meant to be here to be stuck in this experience. That's why, like, when I be seeing so many people and they be like, dang, like, we're stuck in this system. Like, I get it. Yes, we live in a fucked up government world. You know, you're still free. You still get to live. I still get to sit on my phone and make this video. I still get to see or listen. I still get to be here and be free. It's only when you see yourself as not free, or it's only when you see yourself as not at a certain point, or it's only when you see yourself not capable, that you live in that reality of that you are controlled by another, or that it is everyone else's fault, or it is other things to blame for why things are not working out. But where can I take accountability within myself to accept what has been done, has not been done, changed, has not changed, so that I can actually start doing what needs to be done? All right, y'all. I just wanted to come in here. Like I said, it's really random, but I mean, it's you know, it was time for a yap session anyway. So this ain't for, so it's crazy that I'm the first time making a video like this, but this video is not for my spiritual people. I mean, it can be, because maybe this may be your guide to help you understand people, the people that are living their ego a little bit more. But like I said, my target audience for this video, I don't even know if I should be talking about target. I really don't care. I don't care. But at the end of the day, this video was for people that are more in their ego right now. Yeah, you could be spirit, because that's the thing. Like, it takes time to transcend your ego. You don't just lose your ego overnight. Yeah, you may have an ego death, right? But you think about everything that you went through before you had the ego death. That's what I'm saying, though. You see what I'm saying? Everybody has a turning point eventually. Some of these people have not hit the turning point because, one, it's not destined for them to, and then two, they haven't experienced what they need to experience yet. You know, they haven't experienced what they signed up for to help them wake up yet. So you see what I'm saying? So that's why I be telling people, like, it's telling people out here that ain't changing, ain't getting better, but it's like, just let them be. Because eventually it is gonna come a time where they wake up and they see everything for what it is, or a lot of stuff in their reality that they was putting first, see it ain't true, or a lot of things that they were choosing, they see it ain't aiding them, it ain't helping them, they in the same position. And it's like, but what have I been choosing? What have I been deciding to do? And then you see what you've been deciding to do, and it's like, you ain't got no choice but to look at it for real. And even if you try to be so in denial with yourself that you're like, oh no, then that means your ego is won. And you don't live for yourself. You live for your ego. You don't live for yourself. You live for your ego. You literally live to make sure that your ego is okay. You literally live to make sure that your ego's fed. You literally live to make sure that your ego has its needs met. You don't live for the true fact that you're in a space where you're content and happy, right? With the fact that you got this, it could be own car, own place, you got a job. Like, it could be, I mean, I know that sounds material, but just follow me though, right? It's still being appreciative of those little things that add to make bigger things in your reality. Because you having that car allows you to have transportation to these different places, right? You having that house allows you to have the freedom to be in your own space, to create, to rest, to, you know, whatever. You have this job that provides great amounts for you to be able to take care of yourself, right? But when you're stuck and you're only feeding your ego, you're only living from the perspective of like, okay, well, what's gonna make my ego comfortable? What's gonna feed, like, what's gonna be that thing that makes me feel superior than others? Like, it's a lot of things that need to be healed, and it all starts from childhood. And I know that that's hard for some people to, like, especially people that are is more ego, because they ain't trying to confront none of that shit. Like, they might talk about it, but to really get down and deep into a lot of the childhood wounds and start doing the healing, it does take work. Because it takes a lot of you gotta be, like, honest with yourself. It's not even about opening up and trying to heal with somebody else. Because, yeah, you can do that, but 9 times out of 10, like, it's a different vibe when you heal yourself versus when you try to go to somebody else to, like, get healed by them. When you can have the power and the ability and the willpower to heal yourself, the healing hits a little deeper, because you are now taking control of what once you may have thought you didn't have control of. Or, like I said, it was more your ego taking control, right? Your ego just responding based off of what it was taught. Programming. I wasn't saying it to help, but yeah, like, your ego is programmed to be a particular way. Or, you know, your ego, your experience through growing up in your reality, your environment, allowed your ego to transform into this programmed version of yourself. So that could be from the way that you see people, the way that you talk about people, the way that you don't understand people, the way that you ain't trying to understand people. Like, it's a whole bunch of it's a lot of things that we have experienced that go into this whole specific thing of the ego. So it's about understanding it specifically for each and every one of you guys that are struggling with being in the ego, being in the toxic behavior, being in behavior, and maybe the behavior is not toxic, but it's not good behavior, right? Like, it's these little things that we just have to look at ourselves and come to terms with. Because that's why I said the first part of healing is accepting where you ain't, where you is, what you do, what you don't do, how you be acting, how you not acting. You got to accept every aspect of yourself. Because when you leave aspects of yourself unchecked that you don't accept, that brings up subconscious thoughts that you're not perfect, which no one's perfect. But what I'm saying is, like, you'll always try to do things to make yourself seem like, I'm at the best position, things are great, perfect. But in reality, that's not what you're living, right? But why are you, I get it in some aspect, the whole fake feel better, right? But you can only fake it till you make it so long before the reality of what you're faking can no longer be faked. And that's when the real true moment of transformation starts happening, or at least healing. We'll say healing first. Because you'll really get to a point where you see, like, damn, like, it is kind of crazy how, like, I used to do all this shit. It is kind of crazy how, like, she broke my heart, so I used to be like, fuck these hoes, and now I treat every hoe like I just fuck hoes. I don't even be thinking about really if I let them hoe. I might say it, but like, it's a lot of things in there that has happened. That just was a little random. I don't know where that came from, but maybe it could be somebody dealing with has like had like bad past relationships with females or something, and you know they're scarred, so they don't even treat or value like the same. Like, they, like, yeah, deep down they may want someone, but they want me to say it, deep down they would want someone, but their ego is so bruised and hurt that they'll just treat people how they've been treated. So it's like hurt people, you know. So they'll kind of like throw back out what was done to them, but it's kind of, and that still creates karma. Like, bro, it's so crazy to even fucking think that that's just, like, people find comfort in doing that. But it's their way to numb. It's their way to, like, putting other people in the spotlight. So somebody have an accent, but no. So it could be like trying to put other people in the spotlight of, or like it's not putting down, it's not putting people down, but it's like, oh, excuse me, like I said, just trying to put others like in the forefront of something so that the attention is not on you about your fuck ups, your wrongs, your where you're not at. You see what I'm saying? That ain't healthy. That ain't healthy. That ain't fucking healthy. Like, and yeah, and I had to get around this video, like, because as much as they didn't want me to get around this video, and this is my first time making this type of video, I don't even know what to call this video, but this is the truth though, that a lot of people that are in their ego needs to hear. And like I said, this may not be for everybody. Like I said, in the beginning, it was more targeted towards the people that were more probably in the ego, don't even know nothing about a soul. But, you know what I'm saying? So, when we take it back, though, this video could be for anybody. Like, I'm saying for my purposes, I know when I made this, it was targeted for people that were in the ego. But this can also be a video that everyone watches and still can learn something from it, because we're all human. We all have an ego, right? And it's going to be able to give you a perspective to look back on your ego, look at how you changed, how you haven't, or how you have, and times when you didn't. Or it's just going to be, everything's going to hit finally for you to be able to get a better understanding of like where you've been with your ego, where you have not been with your ego, how your ego has not even been triggered in years, you know, or how that relationship, it's going to be so many things that come up, but it's meant. Trust it. You got to trust it. But that's all I got for y'all tonight. If it resonated, y'all, go hit the subscribe button. Turn the bell on. Don't just hit the subscribe and then just like, nah, for real. Like, I know y'all gonna want to see more videos like this, so hit the bell so we can get y'all the content, man. We trying to, I know y'all want to heal. So let's do it. Let's get to it. But only if you're ready though. And that shouldn't even scare you though. That shouldn't even scare you. That's that fear, right? The fear of like, damn, I have to change. Damn, I have to stop fucking with these people. Damn. But why are you worried about everybody else but yourself? And that's because, it's the fear of what your ego will experience and go through if it stops doing this, if it stops seeing its people, if it stops messing with this crowd. It's about where it would go. So, it's your boy Bz, the Dream Visionist, and I'm signing out. Peace, souls and egos.